Hey everybody, it's Mike Young, lifestyle nutritionist. Welcome to chapter 90 of my book, Live to 150. This one is about not being normal. And the reason why you should not be normal, and that's what I want to do, encourage you to do that, to not be normal in this chapter. It's going to be a short one, actually, is because normal is sick nowadays. That's the problem. I feel like in the past, like decades, because I grew up in the 70s and 80s, everybody kind of had this idea they wanted to be like Americans and Americans were great until we realized that we started getting sicker and sicker and we reached a plateau, which has been in the last 10 years or so, where lifespan's starting to decline. So everybody still wants to be Americans. I feel like it's the sheep theory. Everybody's still following along that. But I need to encourage you in this chapter to make sure that you don't want to be normal. And I know that that's very difficult for some people because some people feel uncomfortable. They feel like something's wrong, or I've even heard people say they can't be themselves because they feel like themselves is complying with what everyone else around them wants them to do. And we're going to get into that in the next chapter, actually, why that's not the case. But I just need to get this general idea across to you, make sure you're okay with it, that you're okay with not being normal and you want to be different. And there's a lot of good examples, I'd say, out there right in the world of things that are different and better, not different and worse, but different and better. And I think that as the long tail of the internet is continuing on, which means, we have more and more hyper specific things, and the internet has reached maturity. Services like, for instance, Airbnb comes along, right? And in the past, you were always staying at some, I don't know, multi-story concrete building that all had a similar layout of these hallways and doors, and it had this hotel type of a feel. Even if it was a nice hotel, it was still the same thing, right? And then along comes Airbnb, and people can rent out, and people have started using this service where there's all different types of properties. Everything's different. And I'd say the more different something is on that service, the more people demand it, because they got to a saturation point, I think, where they were just so tired of the same old thing. And I'd say that also the general level of service and just a feeling of adventure just really started to backslide in a way, that when that industry reached a total state of maturity, like with companies like Marriott Corporation, these huge corporations that were running so many different brands of hotels and stuff. Now you got everything independent, everything different, and folks love it. I mean, I think that I have to go look back at the stock price, but I think that Airbnb is valued at more than most hotel chains, or I think they may be valued even more than some of the largest hotel chains. Like the paradigm has shifted that much. Same like with electric cars, right? I mean, I own an electric car. I bought one a little over 5 years ago, and at that time there's almost nobody buying electric cars. Now I think just today I saw something saying that electric cars are now over 5% of the market. These things change, all right? Don't think that it's not you. Like, oh, it's not me. Well, I'm not really going to do that. You're basically saying, well, kill me now. I might as well be dead because I'm not going to change. And you're going to have to, until I embrace something like this, I'm going to have to be dead because I'm never going to embrace it. I would say that's a really bad attitude, and that's an attitude for shortening your life in general. Do you kind of catch what I'm saying? Because obviously you can see, like with a disruptor like Airbnb in the lodging industry, a disruptor like a Tesla in the EV market, and then I am trying to be a disruptor here in the food and lifestyle space, because right now the way the market is, everybody's doing the same thing. They're going to their physicians, they're going to their health people, and we're not practicing medicine, by the way, but they're not curing anything. They're not telling you they're going to cure anything. They're just putting you on maintenance pharmaceuticals, and you are suffering all the negative side effects. Plus, you're in misery anyway, which is why you went there in the first place. So they're doubling down on your misery. That is so like not appealing to me. I would hope if you're reading this book and you're getting this far, you're getting close to chapter 100 now, that you feel the same way. And if you do, write that down below. That you just you just don't want to feel sick. You don't want to be sick. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think that's one of the slogans I've heard before. So you got to be different. You have to be different, because almost everybody, as you age, I'm 52. I'd say, I'm watching friends die now, and I probably will. And unfortunately, I may, if my kids don't, my biological kids or kids by marriage don't change, soon I may be outliving them without any problem, because you see how things are going, right? I mean, life's becoming more and more sedentary. There's less and less effort. The body's designed to be challenged. That's another chapter coming up here soon. You're gonna get to talk about that. But the bottom line with this one is different. Are you different? Just say yes in the comments if you are different. I'll know what that means. And give me any examples you have in your life about things you've had to do it, and don't compromise either. Don't say, well, okay, I'll just do this, part of the time, and I don't want to get anybody too upset with me or whatever. And you're just conforming. You're just going to be like everybody else. You've got to decide to do this lifestyle as best as you can. I don't expect you to do it 100% perfect. I don't even know what 100% perfect is, but do everything you know. As I had a chapter in the book earlier, when you know better, you do better. That was just one chapter, I think, on that quote. So you have to buy into that and realize that that's why you're even here too. What's the purpose of you being here? And when you recognize that this is nothing but benefits for everybody involved, then you'll realize that you have to be different. So hopefully this will help motivate you in some way. If it did, let me know in the comments. If there's something else, if there's another angle to this where you can get people who, this is especially, I'm talking to the people that are kind of, I don't know, there's plenty of people out there like this. And even I'm this way, on some level like this, like, I don't want people to be upset with me if they don't have to be, or I don't want people to be totally displeased. I mean, I'm not talking about being a people pleaser and that's your whole mission, although there's plenty of people like that too. And if you are like that, this is going to be one of the most difficult concepts for you. You're going to have to be okay with people not being okay with you, and also recognize the life axiom that it's impossible to please everyone. I mean, the only recipe I know for certain disaster is trying to please everyone. So it's something like this that is so important, where we have all the evidence kind of following along in these life methods, lifestyles, longevity, secrets, and things. You've got to be different. So hopefully you can be different, and hopefully this inspired you. And if it did in some way, please give me a like. Also, of course, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Bye-bye.